Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Stacy Esser and this is your Bergen County real estate update. We're going to take a look back at what has been happening in our real estate market through March, and we're going to look at the lagging indicators, which is a really good idea of what has already happened, and then we're going to look at the leading indicators, and those are good future predictors. They tell us what is probably going to happen to help navigate the market for you going forward, help you make decisions, and help you understand how what is happening right now will affect the decisions you're currently making on the market, whether to go to market, whether not to go to market, whether to put a bid in, whether not to put a bid in, how much that bid should be, all that stuff. Or you're just a happy homeowner in Bergen County and you want to hear what's going on with the equity in your house. Either way, we're going to get to it. Okay. The first lagging indicator are homes sold. What you're looking at here is a 12-week look back. Bergen County, the yellow line is representing 2024. That blue line is 23 and that black line is 2022. I'm going to show you right here as of March 31st, we were 11% down in number of homes sold from the year before. All right. That means that the houses that were on the market and sold 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, right? So a house has to go on the market, then it has to go under contract, and then it has to close. That time frame is around, I don't know, like somewhere between 2.5 to 4.5 months right now. So you could very well be looking at what was going on the market 4 or 5 months ago that is now closing, right? So it's not telling us what's going to happen. It's telling us what happened probably in, probably in 2023, just into 2024, right? And you could see we're trending down. So that's not a great sign for anybody who's looking to buy a house, that there are less homes being sold. The big question that people ask me is, Stacy, is this a demand issue? Is there less demand? And the answer is yes and no. And yes, there's less demand, but there are reasons for that. And the number one reason is lack of inventory. There's a lack of inventory, and therefore buyers have just been holding out, waiting for more product to hit the market. The other reason is affordability, right? Interest rates rose, prices have increased on homes. And so buyers have just said, you know what, I'm out. This is just too much for me. And they've been waiting. Maybe they think, maybe they've been thinking that prices will come down. Maybe they're waiting for interest rates to come down, or maybe just waiting for more inventory to come to the market. Either way, we're going to take a look at what has happen, and the buyers are going to basically have to come to terms with whether they made the right decision or not. So homes sold, we have less homes sold. The next lagging indicator is going to be how many homes are going under contract. So that's more of a recent indicator, but it's still not a future facing indicator. How many homes are pending, which is under contract, and we're looking at 2024 yellow, and you could see, straight through the beginning of 2024 up until now, we are still going under contract with less homes than the year before. So again, not necessarily a demand issue per se, more of a affordability issue, a lack of inventory issue, and all those things just converging. So lack of homes. Pending sales are down. The next thing we're going to look at are price. We're going to look at that price point. What's going on? So this one is up. So you have less homes that are selling and less homes that went under contract, but the ones that did are selling for more money than the year before and the year before. And here you go for a bonus. And the year before, and the year before. This is the 2021 line, and you could see homes were in this 540 median price point. They typically trend up. You could see that's pretty consistent, right? Prices start to go up for sale prices, and this is June. They kind of peak pretty similarly, right? They peak right about here, June. And same thing here, right about June. Same thing here, right about June. Remember, you guys, the sale price is peaking, which means that house went into contract somewhere for, let's see, June, and then you have May, and then somewhere in here. That's when it happened. So what's the best time to sell your house? middle of April is the best time to sell your house. The middle of April. What's the best time to be a buyer? Probably not the middle of April, but it's pretty tough all the way around for the buyers because, you know, you're waiting to see if more product comes to the market, the closer maybe you get to needing to get a house in the school system. But again, you have to understand that the prices are typically selling for their highest numbers somewhere in June. Sellers, get your house on the market. You're still seeing this increase in price point, and as of March 31st, we were 15% above where we were the year before. All right, I do not believe we're going to end with 15% increases in median price point in Bergen County. I think we're probably going to end somewhere around 5 to 6%. We are waiting, obviously, to see what happens. It is an election year. Things get wonky in real estate for an election year. But I don't believe we're going to stay at the 15% rate above where we were the last year. But if it's any indication that there is this forward-moving market, it's a forward-moving market. Why is this important for you if you're a buyer? All right, if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy a house and you're going to put a bid on a house and you're looking at homes sold at price points, you're looking at stuff that happened 3 to 6 months before. 3 to 6 months before. We know already that the prices are moving up. So if you're worried you're overpaying, don't look at the sale prices for stuff that happened 3, 4, 5 months ago, because that's not really a fair indication of where the current market is, right? That's why you need to be working with a top buyer's agent, hopefully somebody on our team, and they will help guide you as to what the prices are now as opposed to what they were 3 to 6 months ago. Okay. Next thing we're going to look at are, we did median sale price, we did pendings, and we did sold. So we're going to look at now future facing indicators, and we're going to start with what is coming to the market. Are there homes coming to the market? What does that look like? And the 2024 trend line is, it's right here. See that? So we are right in line with where we were in 2023. So these are the new listings coming up. Why is that a good thing? Well, every year before that, we were down, you know, so at least we're not down. And I know like that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal because look at what was happening from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2022, and then 2023. Every year, we saw less and less product come to the market. And let's just take a minute and talk about why that is. So you guys have probably all heard of the lock-in effect. Interest rates dropped precipitously, and most everybody refied. And so you've got a tremendous amount of homeowners that if they have a mortgage, they're sitting there with mortgage rates under 3%. And then all of a sudden, we had the biggest spike in interest rates ever recorded since we've been recording interest rates. And it just was a total disincentive for any seller to sell their home. And it created a major issue with pricing because for buyers to make it worthwhile for a seller to leave, they had to pay a certain amount of money to that seller to leave their house. And a lot of sellers just didn't even want to, they still at this point are still feeling like, you know what? I am locked in at such a good rate. It's costing me very little to stay in my house. And if I were to sell my house and buy something else, it would cost me a lot of money. And I don't want to do that. So we have a lock-in effect. There is some easing, but it is very real and it is not going away. It is not going away. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. So that was new listing. So again, there is a glimmer of hope, even though it's might not seem exciting to the buyers. There is a glimmer of hope because we're not trending below. We're not trending well anywhere. We're not trending very far below the year before. And that actually is a positive sign. So there are some new listings coming and buyers are taking action, which is good. Next thing we're going to look at are how much those houses are coming to the market for. This is a big future indicator. Houses come to the market at X price. So far, we've been seeing homes selling very close, if not above ask price. So is that going to continue? Let's see. Right now we're seeing all the new listings coming to the market at way higher prices than the year before. So that is 7%. So this might be an indication, okay, of where we're going to see the market land at the end of this year. So if you remember before, if you're paying attention, we saw that homes were selling. We already have sold homes that are 15% above where they were last year. But again, all that happened 3 to 6 months ago. Right now, we're looking at a future-facing indicator, and right now we're seeing that the houses that are coming to market are coming to market anywhere between 11, 12, somewhere 7.5%, 7.3% above where they were last year. So I am predicting we'll see prices increase somewhere between 5 to 7%. Not 15%. And I'm saying that because I'm also seeing houses sell very close to their ask price, So that's why I think we're going to still continue to see a jump in prices. What would throw that off? Well, sellers, if there was an external event that forced if any kind of external event, I don't know what to tell you, but if there was any kind of external event, maybe you would see that that price increase halt. So I always say to sellers, act in the market you're in, because you don't know what's going to happen. If you're sitting with a lot of equity in your house and you are not necessarily going to stay in that house for another 7 to 10 years or whatever, you might kick yourself if you don't realize that equity and take your next move. It's also a fabulous time to be a trade-up buyer. A lot of our homes are selling to trade-up buyers. And if you're a buyer, listen, you have to marry the house and date that mortgage. And we're hoping that you'll see some relief with the interest rates. But my concern is that even if the Fed decides to lower the interest rates, it's going to drive prices up because more people will hop into the market. And we have too much pent-up demand to see any kind of shift in pricing. That's my concern. So that is where your new listing prices are. The other and last leading indicator that I want to show you is going to be price drops. And that is pretty much the best way for you to see if there's any shift in the market. If homes are going on the market and they're having price drops, that simply means that the prices are too high. The buyers are saying, nah, and the sellers are adjusting. And you are seeing a little bit here. See that yellow line? I'm going to just take this off. Makes it easier. Actually, can I do that? Hold on. 2020, I'm going to knock off 2021. It makes it a little easier to see. So you are seeing a little bit of an increase in the price drops. It's way below historically where price drops should be, because typically a third of the market price drops before it hits its right price, but it's still above where it was. It's still above where it was. You can see it's above 2022. It's still below 2023. So again, a lot of this was an interest rate situation here. A lot of this was interest rates. But you are right in the middle of 2023 and 2022. That's what this is. So this is 2024. So, you are seeing more homes price reduce than you did in 2022. And 2023, it's still less, but again, more than 2022. And this is the number I would pay attention to, because if a house is sitting on the market for longer than other houses are sitting on the market, that probably means it's not right priced. And so that would be an opportunity for a buyer to come in and maybe offer less than the sales price, less than the list price rather, especially if you're a buyer who doesn't want to deal with the bidding wars, the long lines. I would wait to see if a house is still sitting after a couple of weeks, and then I would go in and make an offer and keep an eye on that house, because you just never know what's going to happen, right? Overall, we in Bergen County are still sitting in a very strong seller's market. There is definitely some more inventory that's come to market. We're seeing a little bit more in price drops. However, we are still very shy on how much inventory we need to meet demand. And My concern for a buyer who's waiting is if interest rates do drop at all, we will simply see more demand, more people coming into the market, and that will essentially drive that price back up. So I would say don't wait if you're a buyer. If you're a seller, the best time to sell is right now. It is right now. Typically, you do get the best price for your house when you sell at the height of the spring market. And so I would say call me. Let's talk. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, Bergen County. It is interesting, as always, to take a deep dive into the data. We have a lot of amazing resources for homeowners, home buyers, home sellers, whether you're in the market right now or maybe thinking about entering the market. There's links below to a lot of amazing resources. Please comment, follow, like, ask me whatever questions you want to ask me. And I really appreciate your attention and your feedback. I am Stacy, the Stacy Esser Group. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye-bye now.